Hello everyone and welcome back to week 2 of 13 Frights Before Halloween. I'm excited to bring you another crafty project, and don't forget to check out our crafty witches that are also participating in this collaboration. Don't forget, we'll bring you a new video every Monday for 13 weeks. Now let's get crafting. So I couldn't do Halloween crafting without creating a Memorydex card, so that is what I created for this week's Halloween project. We have a wonderful cupcake shaker Halloween Memorydex card. So fun. I am loving how this turned out. It all started with this little cupcake mini frame die cut that I had, and it just flourished into this wonderful Memorydex card. Now the card itself is not your typical size. It measures 5 7/8 inches wide by 6 5/8 inches long. I created this using Cricut Design Space, and for those that don't have a Cricut, don't worry, I've thought about you as well, and I even created a template for you, and I'll show you more about that in the tutorial. So on my cupcake here, we have the little cupcake is the shaker bits. As you can see, I even glued down some items in the background so that when it's standing straight up, you still have a nice little image there. The main paper that I used for this collection was Midnight Ride by Country Craft Creations, but the cupcake topper here with the candy corn is from Echo Park, and I just love how that went with the candy corn in the Country Craft Creation paper collection. I did add a Tim Holtz spider here, as well as put a little sequin in the circle charm hole just to cover that up, but I love how it added a sparkle there and then made the spider a little more friendly. I did some messy stitching around and at the bottom. I love how that just set everything off. And then I added my sentiment here up on foam adhesive so that it would be the same height as the cupcake, and added some sequin bats there as well. I used some Wink Stella around the background and the topper, the cupcake topper itself, and I just love the added sparkle that that gives. So I thought I'd show you my Memorydex card in my holder so that you can see that it fits in this type of Memorydex holder. This is the Dollar Tree tray, and I love it because you can do these larger size Memorydex cards. So that is our project for this week. I hope you like this as much as I did. And now let's move into the tutorial. For this project, I'm using Midnight Ride by Country Craft Creations. I'll have this link down below for you in case you're interested in picking it up. So my project started with these little mini cupcake frames that I've had in my stash for quite a while. I got them from a craft store that was closing, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with them at the time, but I did think that they would be good for shakers. If you pull one out, you'll see that the center pops out. And so I thought, ooh, if I stacked a couple of these, it would be thick enough to make it into a shaker. So that's exactly what I did. I took about 5 of these pieces. I glued them all together, and I even used Distress Oxide Black Soot to go around the edges and on the inside. I was going to paint it, but I thought, I just need to distress it a little bit, that's all. So that's what I've done here. That's why it looks a little grungy. But as you can see, it's almost 1/8 of an inch thick by putting about 5 of these together. Now, I don't know if you can buy these anywhere, but you know, I certainly thought about you when I was creating this design. So what I've done is created you a template. So I will have this link down below for you. So what you need to do is cut this out about 5 to maybe 8 times and just get it to the thickness that you want it to be. So if you have heavyweight cardstock, that would work wonders because this is pretty thick. So we have our first piece, and what we're creating is a Memorydex card. So I cut this little girl out of the Midnight Ride paper. I did cut her little leg off, but that's okay. It's not going to matter. I even cut out this Happy Halloween cut apart from the paper collection. And then I cut out some of these adorable little candy corns from the paper. So I have all of this, and I thought, well, what kind of shape would I want in the back for this Memorydex card? I knew the paper that I wanted to use, but I wasn't sure about the shape. An ordinary Memorydex card just wasn't going to cut it for me. So what I came up with was a large cupcake. So down here you have the large base of the cupcake and then the topping. And of course I already put in the Memorydex holes, and I am loving this. So this is the paper that I wanted to use. I just love this one. I actually cut this out of white cardstock first, and then I cut it out of this wonderful paper. And because I wanted you to be able to create this as well, I also created a template for you. This is the large cupcake with the Memorydex holes at the bottom. This is the exact size that I'm using. And in addition to the template, I also have Cricut files for those that have a Cricut maker. And you'll be able to find this information on my new Ko-fi page. I'll have all of my freebies and links in one location. So easy for you to get to. Just follow the link in the description box and it will take you right to the freebie. So for the cupcake, what I did is cut out the base out of this beautiful paper. Again, all Midnight Ride. The only piece that isn't Midnight Ride is this right here, and this is from Echo Park. I love this topping of all these little candy corns. And then at the top, it has this little stem, like you put a cherry there, but I'm not really going to do that. So I'm going to cover that with the same color as I do down here. And then I'm going to add my candy corn up here at the top. And then to top it off, I have this Tim Holtz spider. And I thought with this wand here, if I angle my cupcake just right, I'm going to have the spider as if it's kind of dangling down. And I absolutely love this. So what I'm going to do now is glue all the pieces down, and then I'm going to come back and do the shaker part with you. Now I glued all around and really good around the cutout in the center, because I'm just going to glue this straight to the paper. Okay, at this point, what I want to do is actually glue down one of these little candy corns on the inside of my cupcake. Okay, next what we can do is add items for our shaker. I did go ahead and add adhesive tape to the top and around the center cutout. Probably best to use adhesive tape rather than glue because it can squirt out where we don't want it. So I wanted that to be glued down. I may glue down one of these little bats that I have, these sequin bats. I like the idea of gluing some pieces to the back just so that when it stands up and all of the shaker goes to the bottom, you still have something to look at. Okay, so now I think we can add some additional items for the shaker bits. I have several things here. I have some Recollections glass glitter. I have some micro beads, some actual glitter. I don't know if we'll use all of this. This is some holographic. And then I even have just regular type shaker bits, as well as these wonderful holographic stars that have holes in the center. I actually love those. So I want to put them in there. Let's put some gold ones in there as well. So we're just going to start building up the shaker. I do have a cobweb sequin. I kind of want to put that in there along with some other bats. Maybe 2 is enough. 3 might be too much. Okay. I would like to add some sequins that match the background here. It's like making a potion. And we're really not going to know how it turns out until the end. So I hope it turns out all right. I'm wondering if this cobweb is too big now. Maybe we don't need it. Let's see. Some little hollow glitter. I've made such a mess with this glitter. Oh my gosh. I had to start over like 2 times. Glitter is dangerous. Okay, I think we have plenty in there. What do you think? You know what it needs is like those, let's see, maybe some white. Put some white stars in there. Yeah. Okay, now that we have our shaker bits in there, we're going to take off the adhesive around the sides. Carefully. I tell myself. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to add adhesive glue where I don't have adhesive tape. Okay, now that we have that down, we can take our acetate piece, and I just cut a piece to size. It measures about 2 by 2.5, something like that. So just size it. If you're afraid of it being staticky, just take your anti-static pouch, rub over the acetate, and then put this down. Okay. Well, I hope that works. And then rub really good. So then I just added adhesive again around the top of the frame, and then I'm going to start adding my decorative layers using adhesive glue where there is no tape. And now let's add our corn, candy corn. Now to add my little spider charm, I'm just going to use glossy accents. Okay, so I am back and I just want to go over a few more things that I did with this after I sat and thought about it for a while. I love the addition of the cobweb to the back because of the spider, and the charm itself had a circle on the end of it, so I took a sequin and put in there, and now it has a sparkly spider, which I like a little better. I don't like scary spiders. And then I was even thinking that the whole thing just needed something more, so I did some messy stitching all the way around. And I love that. It really just added that extra bit that it needed. And I did it in 2 different colors. I had this like bronzy thread up at the top, and then I did purple down at the bottom so that you could see the top of the cupcake and differentiate it from the bottom, just like a regular cupcake liner. Now, the more I thought about the cupcake itself, I knew it was missing just a little something. So as you can see on the cupcake liners, they kind of go up and down. They have like these ridges. So I went back to Cricut Design Space and I created another piece that actually has these up and down marks like a cupcake liner. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. Oh, right there. So that's what I did, and I like it so much better. So you won't get that in the template, but you can certainly cut yours out to add those, or you could just cut it straight across. It really looked good either way, but I just wanted that added something there. But for those that do have a Cricut, you will have the option of the one with the kind of zigzag edge or the straight across edge. So I even added some Wink of Stella to the stars in the background, the little burst here at the top, and even on the actual cupcake topping here, and just little spurts everywhere, just to give it a little sparkle. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but in person it looks really neat. So I am really happy with this now. I hope you will give this a try, and if you do, please post pictures, tag me. I would love to see it. And I thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.